Hello ma'am, good day. My report was all about a dynamic European agriculture and agri-foodstuff sector. A dynamic European and agri-foodstuff sector, an increase in the GVA of the agricultural sector but a reduction in its share of GDP. So it means that mas dako ang gross value added sa agricultural sector pero no na reduction nga nahitabo sa GDP or the gross domestic product. So what it means? It means no ang usa ka products sa usa ka country no mas dako ang iyang gross value added. So it means ang price niya kaysa sa kanang gross domestic products. When we say gross domestic products, muna siya ang mga produkto sa agricultural nga ma-produce. No? Pwede nga dako ang GVA niya pero gamay ra ang kanang products nga nahimo. Then Europe has seen GVA at market prices for agricultural products increase by factor of 4.5 between 1970 and 1986 and by a factor of 1.2 between 1986 and 1996. So it means nakita sa Europe nga nagtaas ang gross added value or ang presyo sa market sa mga agricultural products. No, mintaas siya o factor of 4.5 between sa 1970 hangtod sa 1986. So it means no ang market daw sa mga agricultural products gataas siya. It means taas ang iyang gross value added, so ang presyo niya. And the increase in the GVA of the agricultural sector in Europe is however more the result of volume than price. The decline in GVA recorded between 1991 and 1993 was linked to the reform of the Common Agricultural Policy, which tightened control on the factors of productions, particularly by setting aside arable land and substantially reduced intervention prices. So it means nung nag-decline ang gross value added na na-record sa panahon sa year 1991 and 1993. It's because no nag-decline ning gamay ang yang gross value added. It's because naay reform nga gibuhat ang Europe or ang policy sa agriculture. No nga mo'y nag-hold, nag-tighten nga aron dili mas mutaas ang kanang presyo sa mga agricultural products. In relative terms, agriculture, forestry, and fishing have seen their share of GDP in the EU or European Union decrease over the last 26 years, falling from 6% in 1970 to 3% in 1986 and 2% in 1996. It means mga agrikultura daw, no, ang forestry or mga fishing, nakita nila nga ang share sa GDP or ang gross domestic products sa European Union nag-decrease or nagkagamay siya. Nakita ni siya in year 1970 nga 6% ang iyang gi-decrease hangtod sa 1986 to 1996 nga 93% o hangtod 2% ang iyang pag-decrease. So it means nakita nila nga naay pag-ubos sa GDP. Mingtaas ang GVA o mubo ang ilahang GDP. So kung i-connect natin siya sa Pilipinas no nakita nato nga mingtaas ang halimbawa mingtaas ang gross value added sa bugas but minggamay ang kanang ilang GDP. So pwede mapiktuhan ang mga farmers kay tungod mingtaas ang presyo tas gamay ra ang kanang supply sa bugas. Marked disparities within the European Union. In absolute terms, the highest GVA for agricultural products in 1996 was achieved by France, ECU 28 billion, and Italy, ECU 28 billion. So ang pasabot sa ECU, it means electronic control unit. So mo ay nag-determine kung unsa kadak-a ang kanang GVA sa ilahang agricultural products. So na-achieve siya sa France, then sa Italy sad no 28 billion ang kanang na-achieve nila nga highest GVA, which together make up 38% of GA in the EU for this sector. The dynamism of the European agri-foodstuff sector. In the recent years, the agri-foodstuff sector in Europe has much more sustained activity than the agricultural products. So naa siya naday duha ka sektor diay no. Ang sektor sa agricultural ug ang sektor sa agri-foodstuff. Okay, so ang pasabot sa agri-foodstuff, it refers to the entire value chain, involves the production, processing, and distribution of agricultural products. So, ang ginabuhat na sa agri-foodstuff ay sila ang naga-process o naga-distribute sa mga goods or ang mga agricultural products. While the agricultural sector, muna sila ang sector nga nag-involve sila sa kanang mga rice field, farming, fishing, or related agricultural activity. The GVA at the market prices for the European agri-foodstuff sector increased sixfold between 1970 and 1986 and doubled between 1986 and 1996. So it means, no, nagtaas daw ang gross value added sa market prices sa European agri-foodstuff sector. Nag-increase siya sixfold. So it means kaunom siya kapilo. No? So taas kayo yung pag-increase between 1970 and 1986 and double between 1986 and 1996. There are many reasons which explains this rapid development, namely the establishment of major food groups injecting economic dynamisms into the sector, the changes which have taken place in marketing methods with the development of the large-scale distribution, the profound changes in the lifestyle of consumers who have become ever more demanding in terms of production, quality, and choices. The expansion of globalizations and international markets. So it means it's establishment of major food groups, which means mga groups siya sa mga especially kanang so it means major food groups muna siya mga fruits, vegetables, meats, or sa mga products siya sa mga agriculture. The changes have taken place in marketing methods. It means the changes which have been taken place in marketing methods with the development of the large-scale distribution. So kanang marketing methods nila is manghatag ba sila leaflets, flyers, or unsa ba nga makainganyo sa mga tao. The profound changes in the lifestyle of consumers who have become more ever demanding even in terms of products, quality, and choices. So kung unsa tong lifestyle nila karon mo trending mo dito ang patok nila nga ginahatag sa mga sector. Example ana is ang mga tao karon hilig og mga meat, so mo dito ang mademand nila, mo dito ang kanang demanding in terms of product quality. No, kung gusto po kanang ilang gusto is kanang mag-con sila, mag-chicken, or kanang ilang magusto nga lang lifestyle nila lang gusto, so mo dito ginapangita sa mga consumers. The expansion and globalizations of international markets. So muna sila ang dahang sila kanang mga kasusyo sa lain nga mga country or countries. The European Union remains a net importer. European Union occupies a prime position in the world markets for agricultural and food products. So nahimo ang European Union is dako siya nga kanang sakop dahang kay mga country ang among niani nga mo'y kanang bali sila ang prime position nga nagkuan sa in terms of agricultural and food products, bali sila ang kanang mga importer or exporter sila. Varying trade balances among member states. As far as trade in 1970 and unprocessed products is concerned, the EU can be divided into two groups. Countries with a high trade surplus, the Netherlands due to the large extent of exports of live plants and flowers, France with exports of beverage, and Denmark with imports of meat and offals. Countries with a high trade deficit, Germany and United Kingdom with a very high demand for fruits and vegetables, and Italy with imports of meat and offals. The changes in agricultural employment. There is a higher level of employment in agricultural production in Southern and Northern Europe. The employment in agricultural is falling overall, although more slowly since the reform of Common Agricultural Policy or CAP of 1992, while job situations in agri-food sector is stable. So it means ang employment daw sa agricultural is falling overall. So nagbaba ang kanang mga employment sa agrikultura no kanang tungod sa kanang nahimo nga reform kanang gitawag nila ko Common Agricultural Policy nga bawal patasan ang mga prices or ma-overprice ang mga products nila. So mo na kung gingon kaganiha nga mingtaas ang ilang GBA pero gamay ang ilahang gross domestic products. It because pwede nila patasan ang presyo sa usa ka products unya ang products is gamay ra dili kayo kanang makaproduce og daghan. Farming is tending to become less important as a source of employment in rural areas, even though it still plays a vital role in preserving rural landscape. So, ang farming daw is kanang dili na kayo importante o as a source of employment. So, wala na kayo interested nga mo buhat aning way, no, especially kanang farming, no. Even though ang farming is kanang nag-play siya as a vital role of preserving rural landscape.